Hi everybody, it's me, Love, and today I'm here with
Nathan, how y'all doing?
Alright, how are you feeling today?
I'm pretty good. The season's changing, so my allergies kind of turned me up earlier, but I feel better now, so
Okay, you took some allergy medicine
I
or something?
did, I did.
Okay. Y'all, we're doing something new today. We have some canvases because he's an artist, so we're gonna do some painting and we're gonna paint some sunsets while asking questions. Now, nobody judge my painting because I'm okay. Like we're not gonna compare yours to mine because somebody's a little bit more, a little more expertise. Okay, yes, I need to draw first.
Oh, that's how you do it? You start off like a sketch?
Just a little bit, yeah. Like
Oh, I guess I could do that
just,
too.
just so I can like get an outline and then I will go and paint.
That makes sense.
Okay, so, how was your week so far today? This whole week, how has it been for you?
It's BSU week, so it's kind of busy, but I feel like we pulled it off, and I feel like it was pretty productive. I had a pretty productive week outside of BSU too. Got a lot of work done.
There was a lot of engagement with BSU. What was your favorite event that y'all had this week?
Definitely Ballad of the DJ. I feel like it was a good turnout. Um, it could have been more people there, but I feel like overall we had a good time. The people who worked there.
Would y'all do it again? I think I should do it again. I didn't get to go, so.
Yeah, we was talking about something. I can't spill everything, but we
But I
had
really, can I get a hint if it's gonna be this semester?
Maybe,
Maybe.
maybe.
Maybe. Okay, so what is your classification and what is your major?
My classification is sophomore, and I am a studio art painting major.
And what is that?
Studio art painting major is someone who works in a studio. And yeah, it's art. I don't know how else to explain it.
Sounds like a pretty fun degree to have.
It is, but it also gets pretty challenging. I feel like a lot of people think that it's just all fun and games and like it's no really like purpose to it, but I feel like it gets pretty intense sometimes.
What makes it intense? Because I will say I'm one of those people. I feel like I would be having a ball as an art major.
Um, I feel like the hardest part for me is, well, the biggest adjustment I had coming to Lamar was like the critiques. And in the critiques, you basically like, you get an assignment, right? And then you bring it to class and then you put it up on the wall for people to critique. And they have different like critique methods.
The students?
Yeah, in front of you. And so they just saying what they like and don't like about your artwork.
And you just have to sit there?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sometimes they let you explain yourself, like the purpose behind it, but other times you just gotta sit. One time I was doing a critique, right, and it was something in the drawing, and we was back from it, and everything they were saying that they didn't like, I was like, if you just step closer to it, right, you can see that it's actually there. So somebody,
This is on your painting? Or somebody else's?
It was mine.
Oh, and they were just saying that like you were missing details of stuff?
Yeah, like one time we had to draw like a sink full of dishes. And I drew a spatula like laying down on the sink, and they were like, it looks like the spatula is just floating, and I don't think spatulas do that. I was like, if you step closer to it, you'll see that it's actually leaning on the sink. So I'm like, okay. So you just got to take critiques with a grain of salt.
Is it hard? Because I feel like for you, art is like your baby. So it's like, is it hard to sit there and just watch somebody critique your artwork? And art takes a long time.
It does.
When I do my own paintings in my room, I'll be doing them for like a couple hours, or it could go on for a couple days because I take a break.
Right.
So I feel like that would make me a little bit upset.
I would say, yeah, it is hard, but like I said, you take it with a grain of salt, and like, I don't feel like art should be critiqued, me personally, because it's like art is subjective to the artist, and it's all about what you interpret it to be. So if you don't like it, that's cool, but I feel like I'm gonna leave that up to the professionals, because at the end of the day, we all students still learning stuff. So yeah, you can say what you like, and I'll take it. I'll take your opinion, but I'm gonna also value my own opinion above yours.
Do you think that they make you have others critique your artwork because technically you're in studio art, So sometimes your art can end up in art museums, and there's people constantly critiquing your work. So I kind of think in an aspect it's probably to make y'all get comfortable with people critiquing your work always.
That is
if
true.
That makes sense.
That is true.
So at first I'd be like, and when you were saying, I'm like, oh, but then it hit me a little bit. Probably from the professor's point of view, you're gonna constantly have people critiquing your work as an artist.
Yeah.
They're not gonna agree with what you did. So I guess it kind of just mentally prepares you to actually be in the field.
It does, and like I said, like I appreciate everybody's opinions and critiques, but at the end of the day, I'm the artist, and like only I could explain what my message was behind the piece. So it's up to everybody's interpretation, but like I said, just take it with a grain of salt because what somebody might like, somebody might not, and at the end of the day, it's all about if you like it or not.
So, who is Nate?
Who is Nate? Well,
Yes.
First and foremost, I'm a child of God, amen.
Okay.
But also, I'm an artist. I'm a son. I'm a brother. And I'm also somebody who's constantly growing and figuring themselves out. So, figuring out who I am, like, more and more. So, I would say at the moment, Nate is a work in progress.
And who does Nate aspire to be?
Nate aspires to be somebody who isn't afraid to express himself creatively and in the way that he chooses to.
Do you feel like now you may be timid?
A little bit, but I am coming out my shell thanks to the things that I'm involved in and the people that I've met. They're really pushing me to grow in that way.
That's good that you have people around you who are pushing you. I forgot to bring I forgot to put out bowl to put the paint in. So I just did it like this.
That's smart. I was just going,
Oh, listen. I'm gonna get a little carried away. So you can have fun with doing that. I'm personally not gonna do that. You might get a little messy over here.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there a difference between Nate, the college student, and Nate, the artist? And what is the difference if there is one? Since you said that basically that Nate, the artist, is more of a creative person.
Well, I feel like Nate, the artist, is somebody who does express himself creatively. Nate, the college student, is still trying to figure out how to do that outside of art, how to express myself in other ways.
Okay.
So recently I've been doing poetry.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get into that.
Yep.
Because I'm excited.
I've been dressing how I want to.
What do you mean dressing how you want to? You feel like this is you just gotta open it.
Oh,
it's open. Those are not new. I just am lazy. I just never take the actual wrapping off of them.
Oh.
Yeah, I get a little lazy over here.
Cause I've been doing this for like 5 minutes trying to open this. All right.
So I was saying, what do you mean you've been dressing how you want to dress?
Well, for so long, I would get clothes and I would style them in my room, look in the mirror and be like, I can't wear this out. But I just been saying whatever, like, cause this is wet.
Yes, it's in water.
You don't. All right.
Yeah, don't judge me.
It's all right. But I was saying like.
Shaking?
Yeah.
What's shaking?
Yeah, shake that. You didn't shake it out before?
No, the brushes are wet.
Oh.
Yeah.
They've been soaking in water. I was low-key thinking that a little bit when I was over here doing this because when I started,
because it's like this is acrylic paint, and it's not watercolor. So
what does that mean? Is that gonna mess up everything?
No, I mean it's drying now, but at first it was like soaking. I was like, whoa.
You weren't ready for that. Okay, but anyway, guys, I'm being critiqued right now.
I forgot the question.
I said, so you choosing to dress the way you want.
Oh,
to dress.
yeah. I'm just saying, like, I could wear whatever to wherever I want to. Because another thing was, like, I got this outfit, but where am I going to wear this to? Like,
Anywhere.
Exactly. Like you can wear it wherever you want to, and that's something I was figuring out. Like it's always dress to impress, cause you don't know who you gonna meet or run into,
Hmm.
or who you'll inspire like to dress how they want to dress.
Right. I feel like you have a very nice style as well.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I will say that. So for you to say that you used to not like dress how you want to dress is
Mhm.
shocking. Cause it seems like the way you dress, you've been doing it for forever. You've just created your own style. It's very unique as well. It's like a little bit of classy, but it's like a little bit like streetwear.
Mhm.
It's really nice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. So, what defines an artist?
An artist, I think everybody is an artist or has the potential to be.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everybody has. Some people be like, I don't have a creative bone in my body. That's not true. It's just like you have to find what type of art you like or what type of art you're good at. Not everybody can paint. Not everybody can draw, but there's other forms of artwork out there. Even if it's like slight, even if it's like the smallest thing, you're still creating stuff. If you're still creating something or like coming up with ideas, you're an artist. That's just how I feel.
Do you think that to be considered an artist, you have to be authentic?
Um, in some cases, because even I draw inspiration from people sometimes. So I'm not 100% authentic all the time, but I do draw inspiration and I do put my own little spin on it. So it is still me at the end of the day.
Right. So, looking at your pieces, and I see a lot of emotion in those pieces. The one I've seen the most emotion with is going to be suspension, and you also quoted first. How do you say it? Thessalonians.
Mm-hmm.
Thessalonians 4:10. So, what's the emotion behind that painting? Because that's my favorite one that I've seen.
That painting was actually entered into an art competition. And
Did you win?
I did.
Oh, good. Because that's a really
did.
good painting.
I was really inspired by that verse because I think it's not only beautiful, but it's also a little bit like scary. It's like, wow, like one day everybody's gonna go leave and you don't want to be the only person still here when that day comes. So I feel like that really inspired me to make that. And at first I didn't know where I was going with it, but it all came together at the end.
Is that him like swimming to? Cause it looked like angels.
Mm-hmm.
Is that him like swimming to?
Well, not so much angels. It's more like the people in the water, and some of them are ascended to heaven, and some aren't. And he figures out that he's one of the ones that didn't make it. And I can just imagine how scary that feeling must be for him.
Would you say that was just a random person you said you had in the painting, or would you say that was a version of yourself as well?
That's not a version of me, because I am going to heaven, amen.
Okay.
But I figured that it could be representative to a lot of us, because a lot of us aren't where we need to be, and I do consider myself in that category. I'm not fully where I want to be, but I am working on myself still every day, trying to get to the point where I know 100% that I am going to heaven.
Okay. So, what would you say your style of art is?
Say it again.
What would you say your style of art is? Every artist has a style.
I think I lean more into realism, which is like taking an image and copying it basically. But I also add my own touches to it. So it's not just a copy image of it. So like that piece, for instance, I took a picture of a man swimming and then I built the background around him.
So not everybody knows what realism is. Can you define realism?
Realism it's kind of self-explanatory, really. It's in the name. It's like real, like your painting looks real. Like it's not abstract or it's not like something that you gotta try to dissect to figure out what is going on in the image. It's like very self-explanatory. You look at it and be like, oh, this is happening. Oh,
Do you like abstract art? I like abstract art. That's one of my favorite pieces. I only like abstract art because I don't know how. I'm not a good artist in realism, so I like abstract.
you know, you seem like somebody who like abstract art.
I
You
do.
know, you know why? Because you are very emotional. Like you, I'm not trying to read you. I'm not. This is not a
I'm
therapy.
listening. I'm
This is not a
listening.
therapy session. But you like, um, it's like you're very emotional, and even in the things that you ask, you have deeper. You like to dive deeper into stuff. So I feel like that's kind of the same vibe you get when you look at abstract art. You try to dissect it and try to figure out what type of emotions you feel when you're looking at it. But I don't really like abstract art. I've tried.
Do you not like it because you're not good at it?
Um,
Or is it because it's challenging as well? I feel like abstract art is very challenging because you can interpret it as one thing, but it's harder for everybody else to interpret it.
right. I feel like it is kind of challenging to me because I like to look at something and I like to know exactly what it is or what's going on. I feel like dissecting the artwork it takes a lot of energy from me, and
You don't have energy to do that?
sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I respect it. I'll go to an art museum. I'd be like, that's very interesting. Okay, let's move on.
Now let's move on. Dang. You're
But-
not even gonna sit there for too long. You're just gonna say, okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep it pushing.
You know, people be like, people stand in front of artwork for hours, the same piece, and they just like, deep in thought. I don't think that's me.
I think that's me. I went to the art show whenever I was younger with my mom, and she was like, "How you wear?" Oh my gosh, you've been over here looking at the same piece for a long time.
Right.
I mean, I like it. I don't know. I feel like it could be so many different things. And for me, I think my favorite pieces are like when it's like a mixture of like, I don't know, like anger, confusion. Those are my favorite pieces. When I can see like, if I look at it for a very long time and I can see like their anger coming through the painting, I like it. Because then I also have like some pieces where it's like resolution in there, if that makes sense. I don't know. I just like it.
I feel you.
It's very interesting to me. How something like so not simple. I'm not gonna say art is simple, but how something so small can mean so many things.
You know what we should have got paper towels.
I have some. Like, can you get a paper towel? Guys, listen. Mike had set us up. We didn't even know we were starting yet.
Yeah.
Not the thumbs up. We weren't prepared. Okay, so this one right here. Let me see. So, what do you call yourself an innate artist? Is that how you say it?
Huh?
Innate artist?
Innate.
Innate? Yeah, my bad. Innate artist.
Good.
So, what does that mean? And can you describe it?
Yeah. So innate is.
Thank you.
It's like a double meaning. First, it's like a play on my name, Nate. So
Okay.
N-8, Nate. But also, the word innate means natural or something that you're born with. And then I put it with artistry, which is the ability to create art. So when you put it together, it's the natural ability to create art.
So, do you think you were born with a natural gift for being an artist?
I do. I do. And it didn't always start off as painting. You know, I tried other stuff like I tried to write stories. I tried to write plays. They weren't that good.
Why weren't they that good? Were they boring?
It was just all over the place. I'm like, no, this not even realistic. But
Why does it have? So you really like realism. So if you were into books, you wouldn't like sci-fi books.
I love sci-fi. I love fiction.
But that's not really realistic.
I know, but I mean, like, Well, I don't know what I meant. I mean, like,
Because if you're writing a story and you're saying it's not realistic, it doesn't have to be realistic.
that's true. But I don't know what I meant. It was like, it wasn't realistic enough to be taken serious.
A good story.
Yeah, and then there was like no good structure to it. It was just like they in the kitchen 1 minute and then they talking in space the next. Like, it was
How
just,
did we get here?
Yeah.
So do you think that at that point you were trying to find your place as an artist?
Yeah, I do. I knew like from a very young age that I liked drawing.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you went in the restaurant and they gave you like the crayons and the stuff? I would be drawing all over that, all over the napkins and stuff. It got to painting. I didn't really like painting at first just because I felt like it was just too hard to control. But I got to painting in like middle school, and then my art teacher just kind of told me that, hey, you got some real good skill. And so I just kind of kept at it and just...
I don't think I liked painting at first either, for that same exact reason. It's too hard to control. Things can get messed up really fast with paint. It can get a little crazy. But now you're what would you consider yourself, because you do pencil and you do paint. Which one is like your preferred?
Actually, pencil. I really like drawing. I feel like it's quick, it's easy. I feel like I can express myself better in drawing, and it's kind of ironic because so many artists feel like they express themselves better in painting, just because of the access to like colors and like different brush strokes kind of bring forth different emotions. But I feel like I work better with the pencil, and I could capture more details with the pencil.
What's it called? Have you tried oil painting?
I have oil painters too, like oil paint.
I would say, would that be? I know it's not the exact same thing as pencil, but I know it's a little bit more like controlled.
It is, cause well, in a way, cause when you put it on, it takes a longer time for it to dry, so you can blend it how you want to. But it's like you gotta have paint thinners and stuff like that, and it's kind of toxic, so you can't do that in your house.
What do you mean it's toxic?
Like it's
you
like
can
this.
die
I mean, you'll get sick.
from oil painting?
The smell.
It's the smell?
Not so much of the paint, but the paint thinner. I forgot what goes into it, but it's kind of toxic to you.
Oh. Then they have like chalk artists.
Do
you like chalk?
Chalk get messy, but yeah, I dabble.
So you don't like being a messy artist?
I mean, it's bound to happen. You're bound to make messes, but I could try to avoid it as much as I can. I try to be very careful.
I would think that you would like chalk though, since you like drawing.
Carbohydrates are why oil paint is. There's carbohydrates in it.
Yeah.
So that makes it toxic for us to inhale?
That makes the fumes toxic, poisonous.
Do people who do oil paintings, do they have like a lot of health conditions? I'm genuinely asking, like, that's a very good, like, do they have a lot of health conditions?
I mean, if they know what they're doing, no, they shouldn't.
I mean, of course you can sit there and wear a mask, but I'm just sorry, like, whenever COVID was going around, we had to wear the mask. I personally was about to pass out with that mask on.
Real.
I was gonna pass out with the mask on my face.
And then don't let me have a stopped up nose. I remember I was in class one time. I couldn't breathe.
I did not like those masks. I'm not gonna lie. I was the person like, you need to pull your mask up. Listen, I'm trying to breathe.
Like, just give me a minute.
I just need a couple seconds. It's a little hot in this mask. Or I would just like have it like right at the nose. Because it's just like, I understand we're trying to not spread germs.
I'm not gonna lie, I used to do that too. And
I feel like I'm gonna suffocate in here.
They be like, that's not helping. I'm sorry.
Listen, don't. But what's crazy is I never got COVID. So it's like maybe what I was doing was probably right, because I just don't think you sitting and suffocating in that mask is actually helping you. I feel like you're just sitting in a ball of germs at that point.
I got COVID twice.
Dang. Twice? Not once, twice.
Twice.
How was that?
And both times wasn't my fault. Somebody brought it home.
How was that?
Terrible.
What does COVID feel like?
Thank God I didn't lose my taste. I would be so miserable if I couldn't taste my food. But I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't have an appetite anyway, so, and I wasn't throwing up or nothing. So my symptoms weren't that bad, but I just felt like miserable. Like my body was aching. Headache was crazy. Like you could rub my eyes and it was just like cracking sounds.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah.
Both times?
No, the second time was worse. I'm like, dang, you came back for more.
The second time was that bad?
It was.
But you did lose your taste still.
Thank God. Or my smell.
I mean, I could do without the smell.
Well,
But
I mean,
the taste?
if you can't smell, you can't taste though. You know your nose stopped up, you can't taste your food.
Listen, if there's no way that you can just not smell and taste, I would be perfectly fine with that. But as far as me not tasting anything, I would be, then what are you eating for at that point?
But
like, are you even hungry? Because like, you can't even enjoy the flavor from the food. That's the most important part.
But you'll probably be, you could lose a lot of weight if you can't taste your food, because you could go on any diet you want to and you can't taste your food. And it could be.
You're just feeling texture in your mouth.
That's true.
Not even,
are you a texture person?
No, I mean, I'm not a texture person. I want to enjoy my food. That's it. That's all. I'm not a texture person, but it's like, okay, I'm eating an apple, but it doesn't taste like an apple.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eating ice cream, but it just feels cold. Like, that's not fun.
Mm-hmm.
And they said there's some people that, like, I guess never got their taste back after COVID.
I heard.
They said it was, like, a little bit funny still.
Mm.
Like, it wasn't the exact same.
I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, what am I alive for?
If you couldn't taste your food.
At this point.
What's your favorite food?
My favorite, I love a good pasta. Fettuccine.
Regular or like chicken or shrimp?
Chicken and shrimp, both of them.
Chicken and shrimp? All the way.
What's yours?
Let me think. Pizza is one of my favorite foods.
What toppings?
See, I recently just started eating like seafood again, so I was a vegetarian for a long time, so it's really just cheese pizza.
Okay, that's cool.
Let me think. Pasta is my favorite food. I love pasta. What else? I'm trying to think. I like a lot of fruit and tacos.
Tacos.
But like not
like authentic tacos, not Taco Bell.
I don't really like Taco Bell. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I like regular, like, authentic tacos, but I really like taco salad. It's like one of my favorite foods. I can eat taco salad all the time.
My mama made a taco spaghetti that was pretty good.
A taco spaghetti? What is taco spaghetti?
It's like, I can't explain it. It's like spaghetti, but like the flavor of a taco.
What?
It was good.
It sounds really interesting.
It was good.
I'm trying to. So it's like pasta noodles, right? Okay, but what kind of like sauce though?
I don't think it's no sauce. It's just cheese, meat, and spaghetti noodles.
No
and then
sauce?
You add the taco seasoning, your meat. I said meat already though.
Is it like a cheese sauce?
Yeah, I think so. So it is a sauce.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There has to be a sauce. It's just not noodles sitting in there.
I'm not a chef, so I don't know all the terms for it. But
No, so there has to be a sauce.
yeah.
Do you like to cook or no? That's a no, guys.
Yeah, it's a no. It's a no. I tried. I make some good noodles though.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah, it's a
How
little.
you make your noodles?
Stove, no microwave.
So you don't make noodles at school? What?
But let me tell you, they just came out with the microwavable cups. You know how the paper cups you couldn't be able to microwave them.
What do you?
You was microwaving them?
Yes. I thought
Oh.
that's what you're supposed to do.
No.
Seriously?
For real.
The cup noodle. It says cup noodles on the instructions. It literally tells you put it in the microwave.
The whole thing.
Yes.
Or you put it in something?
No, I just put the water in the cup, and then I put it in the microwave.
Yeah, you're not supposed to do that.
Why?
I forgot why. I think that's toxic too. Everything toxic.
I said, okay, I'll put them right in the microwave and call it a day. I did not know that. What's the point of it being cup noodles? It's supposed to be convenience.
That's what I was saying. Like,
that's not convenient if you can't put it in the microwave.
At this point, y'all trying to take us out, cause everybody put it in the microwave. I put it in the microwave. I used to, until I learned that, and I was like, well, I kind of value my life, so maybe I should stop this.
You think the noodles are gonna be taking you out?
Yeah, if I eat them enough.
The noodles is in the cabinet right now. I'm gonna look at it when I get there and see what I'm supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so do you think being an artist isn't limited? Hold on, wait. Yeah, being an artist isn't limited to just being a person who can paint and draw. You set the tone for that by also being a poet. So, if you could be an animal, you said you'll be a bird. Why? I like that poem, by the way.
I'm glad you read it. Like, that means a lot. But I would be a bird because they're free. Like, you could be anywhere you want to if you're a bird. You got the ability to fly. I wish I could fly. Like, I would be gone if I could fly. But
you don't think they get tired?
they get tired, but then they rest and then start flying again. Yeah, I like my little life.
If you could fly?
My little bird life.
What kind of bird would you be? I have the birds. You know, they got the birds with the little wings, or they got the birds with the big wings, like an eagle.
You know what I'd be? I feel like I'd be an owl.
Oh my gosh! I thought they're so creepy.
No,
yes,
I mean they are. But
they are creepy. We need to turn their head all the way around.
Owls are cool. I feel like owls very wise, very mysterious.
They are very mysterious because you don't really see owls.
Yeah, I try to be like an owl.
Why?
Just to keep people guessing.
Is it a fun game for you?
Mm-hmm. It's pretty enjoyable.
People constantly wondering who is Nick?
Yeah.
Oh.
Kind of keep people on their toes, you know?
Right. So this is a little bit of a conflict. Keep being mysterious. People are getting your business.
Well, that's true. But some things you can't let people in all the way. You gotta leave some room for imagination.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so I don't want to talk in a quiet game. That goes into you being mysterious. Is that why you choose to not talk?
No. I feel like the reason I don't talk as much is because I value what I say. And I feel like if I don't have anything to say, I just won't say it. Like your mom used to say, if you don't have nothing good to say, don't say it at all.
Oh, so you don't have a lot of nice things to say.
I knew you shouldn't say that. Let me explain.
Okay, go ahead.
Dang, you made me sound bad.
I mean, that's just what you said. You
that
just
is what I said.
If your mom's told you you have nothing nice to say, don't say it at
all.
all.
I was trying to be relatable, y'all. I didn't.
That means that you don't be having anything nice to say.
I feel like I when I do say something, I want to add value to the conversation.
Okay.
And so sometimes I just like observe or like listen, take in what everybody else is saying. And so if I feel like my input is needed, then I'll add some.
But if not, you don't say anything.
Mm-mm.
So you like to observe.
I like to listen. I like to watch.
I feel like you learn a lot by just sitting back and observing.
Absolutely. I feel like it's been working for me.
Why? You think you're able to understand a little bit more of what's going on from all aspects?
Yeah, and then it kind of opens your eyes and you kind of see what kind of people you should be around when you just sit back and observe, like, and see people for who they are.
That's a really good point. I feel like oftentimes, when you're so open, you kind of can get deceived a little bit more because you're putting yourself out there more. But rather than if you just sit back and watch, everything will be revealed in due time.
Yeah. So you get it.
So I used to be a very quiet kid. my parents, they used to have to like force me to go outside.
Mm.
I didn't want to play with no other kids. It was one that I would never. I was so mad. These kids I went to school with, like I would like be on the bus, minding my own business, get off the bus, and I would like talk sometimes. These girls came to my house. I had lied to them. I was like, yeah, we can hang out later. I didn't know they knew where. I didn't know they knew where I lived.
I didn't expect that to show up.
Yeah, I didn't know they knew where I lived. They came to my house, knocked on my door, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, y'all can come in." And then she was like, "Your friends are here." I'm like, "What are you talking about? My friends are here." I had to sit upstairs. Oh, I was so mad. I was not letting them touch anything, and I was that kid. Like I was like everything a certain way. I have stuff in certain places. I didn't want nobody touching my stuff. I did not like to share.
That's how I was.
So we were just all sitting there looking crazy. They're like, "Oh, you want to watch TV?" No, don't want to watch TV. What do you want to do? You want to go outside? No, don't want to go outside. Eventually they left, because it's like.
So y'all just wasn't doing nothing.
I wasn't a very friendly kid.
I mean, I would have entertained them a little bit.
No. Mm-mm.
Dang.
Like, if you ask my parents, they would tell you I was very, like whenever you would go around, like, other people, like, their friends, kids and stuff, how you're supposed to be talking to them, I would just be doing my own thing. I would sit there, I'd be like, yeah. I would tell my parents, yeah, I'm going to go talk to them. And then I would go upstairs.
Wow.
And I would leave them.
Wow.
I would.
Why do you feel like you were that way?
I don't know. I just didn't really I don't know. I didn't get out of that shell until I was like a freshman in high school because I had did track and stuff growing up. But even like when I did track, I didn't really talk to anybody. I just ran my races and then
go home.
No, I still had to be there. Like track meets are long; they're all day long. So I would go run my races. I had like one person that I talked to, and we would be around each other the whole time. And it would just be me and her talking. But whenever I got into high school, you have to participate with your teammates. Like you have to build a relationship with them. And when I was a freshman, I was really good. So I was doing we had to do relay races and stuff like that. And I was on JV, so that means if somebody in varsity gets hurt, then you have to go to the next plate. And a big part of being on a track team and doing relay is having a good bond with them. So I had to build connections. But what's crazy is as soon as I started being more comfortable with them, I moved to Texas. So when I moved to Texas, I became that way again.
So where were you before?
Indiana. Yeah, that's where I grew up.
You like it more?
Do I like it more?
Than Texas? You can be honest.
I am being honest. I don't think I necessarily would say I like Indiana more. I like Indiana more because my family is there. Like my grandma, my grandparents. Texas, I don't really have immediate family there. So, but I also haven't been there since I was a teenager. So, I can't.
Is there more to do in Indiana?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's definitely not much. It's not much of anything to do there, quite honestly. It's a bunch of cornfields. Bunch of cornfields. They have during Halloween and stuff, that's the best time. Because we have the leaves and stuff change colors. We get we have cornfields. They do haunted house and stuff. That's a great time for us. But I don't know. I've been there a long time. But no, it's definitely not as much stuff to do. And also, I don't know. We'll see when I go there how I feel. But I was upset because I had to move. I just started, being more open out of my shell, and I had to move. So when I moved to Texas, I became that way again. More to myself. And then when I came to college, I got back out of my shell.
That's good.
Because, my parents told me, you can't just keep acting like that. Because you're not going to make any friends. I was like, well, that's true. Can't just be walking around here doing nothing. Let me see. So, describe the intent behind your poem, The Quiet Game.
I feel like it came from a place where I kind of questioned myself, and I was kind of beating myself up about being so quiet, about being reserved. I felt like it was kind of a balance, or not a balance, but a toss-up between being comfortable with myself in my silence and not have to explain to other people why I'm so quiet, but also not liking the fact that I'm so quiet. Like wishing I could join in on the conversations. Wishing that I could like not have meaningful conversations. And that's crazy to say because it's like why wouldn't you want to have meaningful conversations?
Right.
But I feel like a lot of people who talk like a lot, they just talk a lot and they don't really think about what they're saying. Like,
Would you say you don't like talkative people?
that's not what I'm saying at all. I just feel like whenever I have a conversation, I would want to leave the conversation knowing something new about you.
Okay. So how do you, since you're not talkative, are you able to hold, would you say you're able to hold conversation with somebody that is more talkative than you?
Yeah, I actually gravitate towards people that talk a lot, which is kind of contradictory to what I
Yeah.
just said.
What?
But
How?
I don't know. I think it kind of fits the dynamic. But I wish
How does that work if you're not saying anything?
No, I would talk to them like.
Oh, okay.
But I like to listen, and people that just go on and on and on, I listen. So even though I'm not like, cause people that talk a lot, they can say stuff that's meaningful. So let me backtrack. Even if they're talking a lot and I'm just listening, I will learn something new about you still, cause you talking and I'm just listening. So it kind of fits. I feel like the whole quiet, loud, talkative, it fits. And I like being around people that talk a lot or like express themselves in that way.
Okay. So, do you ever plan to publicly share your poems?
I do. I be at the midnight poetry sometimes.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because these are some good poems. So why are you not sharing them? Because they're really good.
You know what?
And a lot of people like your poems today. I'm not going to lie.
You know what? I don't know if you remember this, but at the first or the second midnight poetry, I did one of my poems, and I kind of stumbled over my words a little bit. But at the end of it, you came up to me and you was like, "Hey, I really liked your poem."
I did.
Yeah, and that kind of made me feel a lot better. So I was like, and that was the first impression I had of you. So I was really grateful for that.
Because I mean, I feel like I get nervous at the midnight poetry. I like writing poetry. I really do. But sharing it is a whole different aspect of things. Because I feel like poetry I write is more deep into. It's not just small. It's more deep into my emotions, and it reveals my character.
Yeah.
A different side of my character. So then it like, I don't want to say embarrassed.
More vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's very hard to be very vulnerable, especially with people that you don't know. So that's why I asked, because your poems are I feel like they're very deep, and it reveals your character. So are you gonna share more?
Yeah, I try to. I did one at the Did you go to the Roses metaphor?
No, I was supposed to share a poem there.
And I did one.
I was at work. I couldn't get off work, so that's why I didn't go. But I was supposed to share a poem there, and I had a really good one. And then they had where we were supposed to do what's it called? They were doing poems at Reluctance. I was supposed to do one there, but that's when they changed it to the Roses and the Metaphors. I was supposed to do one there, so I didn't. But I don't know. We're gonna see whenever they have next midnight poetry how I'm feeling about sharing any of the new ones I have, because I have some good new ones. I just haven't shared them yet.
How often do you write it? Just whenever you feel like it?
I feel like I write in spurts. Sometimes I don't. I will go like a month without writing it all, and then I'll go through like a month where I'm just feeling a lot of emotions and I want to get them all out, and I'll write maybe like 8 different poems in one sitting. It just depends, but I'm a writer in general. I love writing.
You write stories?
Not stories, more so thoughts, observations. I like to observe a lot.
So you do a lot of journaling?
I love journaling.
I need to get back into it.
I feel like it's one thing that now, because before I used to just journal to myself, but now I feel like it's a way that I connect with God as well. Because sometimes you're not always able to say how you feel.
That's true.
But I know he can read the words that I'm writing, and he can hear me as I'm thinking them and writing them down.
Amen.
So I love journaling. I've been doing journaling since I was young. It's one of my favorite things to do. I always tell everybody they should journal. But some people think it's like a certain way you have to journal. But I tell people all the time, there's no certain way to journaling.
Yeah, that's my problem. I thought it was like a certain structure that I had to write, or like, I don't know.
I see it as this. Your journal is your journal. That's your writing. Who are you sharing it with?
Yourself.
Exactly. So why would you not be able to be more vulnerable with yourself? Why would you hide from yourself, if that makes sense?
It does.
That's how I see journaling. Because it's like, nobody else is reading it. That's your journal. You gonna let somebody just come and take your journal from you? No. So who are you hiding from? Only yourself. And at that point, that means you're timid of yourself. You're scared of being yourself with your own. And that's not good. That means you don't trust yourself.
Tell me something then.
So let's see. You are what, the media chair for BSU?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you ever plan to expand to other orgs?
That's the question right now. I would say maybe.
Why is
I
that a
wouldn't.
maybe?
I wouldn't limit myself to saying no. But it's not a yes right now.
Okay. Why?
Just because that's a lot. All these different things that you're a part of, and it could be overwhelming because you got class, and then you have these different orgs that you do, and it's like, when do you find time for yourself? You know.
True. Because you do a really good job with the
Thank you,
media.
thank you,
That's why
thank
I asked, would you be open to going into other orgs and doing it?
Thank you.
It's like the posters and things that you do looks really good. I like the whole That's So Raven thing. That was also really good. Why is that a You didn't like it?
No, I do. I do.
Okay.
I was just like taking in a compliment, but that
And
wasn't
it was the DJ poster.
the DJ.
Did you do that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good. It looked like a comic book.
Thank
Was that the point?
you.
Yeah, that looks good. I give that one a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was my favorite one too.
The DJ?
Yeah.
It looked like straight out of like a scary comic book. Like,
And I could say it right now since it's already happened. We almost didn't have it. And
what?
I created the poster like a week in advance, and I was like, are you for real? Like, people not gonna be able to see it? So I was like, dang. Like, I'll get up there and DJ myself if I have to.
What you know about DJ?
I don't know.
That's
but
it?
I could put a few mixes together
Okay, a little something.
if I need to.
You say you need that poster to be seen. That was a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. That would have been cool seeing you over there DJing. DJ Nate adding it to the skill set of being an artist. Okay, so what else are you involved in campus? Or what are you wanting to get involved in campus?
I'm a part of BSU. I'm an usher in Relentless. Man Up. I work for CAB, Cardinals Activity Board.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. What I would like to get into, I don't know. Just whatever God puts me in or like pushes me towards, then I'll pursue those things. I don't know exactly what works yet.
Meaning what? You
I'm
haven't
sorry,
explored your options?
Okay.
Is that what you mean when you say you don't know?
Yeah.
Okay. I've only been a part of one org my whole entire time here.
You said what?
I've only been a part of one org this entire time I've been here.
And that's
Poetic Souls. And I just got into that this semester.
Oh, Poetic Souls. I'm Poetic Soul.
You're in Poetic Souls too?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you just came. I didn't know you were in Poetic Souls. Okay. So, do you plan on putting in more of your talents out here within the next semester?
Within the next semester.
The next semester that you're going to be here, so you graduate.
I would say yeah. That piece that I did with the streetcar and the one with the person with the baby, I entered those into a silent auction.
What's a silent auction?
So a silent auction is where you have people walking around and they can bid on your work, and they can put a price, and if a person comes after them and puts a higher price, then they'll get it, and you just keep going until the bidding stops.
Who hosts these? Lamar hosts these?
Yeah, it's Le Grand Ball
Mm.
at the Art Museum, and it's a fundraiser for the all the funds go towards the fine arts program.
Oh, so you don't make money off of your pieces?
Oh, I make the money if I
Let it be known, I do make my money.
yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna say. So all the funds goes towards what?
It's like 50% goes towards the
Okay.
arts program, and then I get the rest.
That's good. Do a lot of your pieces get sold?
I took a break from selling,
Mhm.
and that's just because I was trying to find the time to actually sit down and paint. Actually, because when I got to college, I just didn't have the time to really do what I wanted to do. I was
Mhm.
more so drawing, and when I did paint, it was for class. I didn't really get to pick what I wanted, what I got to paint, if that makes sense.
So what's the best thing that you've learned about being in college so far?
Um, Time management.
Mhm.
I feel like it's in high school. It's a lot of hand holding, and when you get to college, you're kind of on your own. Obviously, you have a support system still, but it's a lot different
It's
than
not
what
the
you're
same.
used to. Yeah.
What else?
Um, Figuring out where I need to be or where I should be, and the people that I decide to surround myself with.
Mm. You
Because
think
not
that's
everybody has the same intentions as you or the same ambitions as you.
mm. You think that's an important thing?
Very important, especially with all the stuff that's going on, like the crazy stuff, like people getting killed by their own friends. Like that's crazy to me. So just be very cautious about who you surround yourself with and who you give your time to.
Mm. Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
Um, yeah, I would say, cause I was watching another podcast, right,
Mhm.
that you did, and you said you weren't always planning on staying at Lamar.
Mm-mm.
So I was wondering if you would have left, do you feel like you would have still done the podcast? And do you feel like it would be as successful or more successful than it is right now?
I still would have did the podcast, and I think it would have been more successful.
Mm. Why's that?
It would put me in a different aspect, a different ballpark. I was gonna go to HBCU,
Mm.
so I feel like that exposed me to a lot more different talents.
That's true.
You know, I don't want to say that we don't have a lot of talents here at Lamar,
Mm.
but at HBCU it's just a whole different ballgame.
I feel you. I feel you.
I'm in a whole different playing field. You know,
Mm.
it's a lot more marketing there. It's a lot more. I think it would have been a lot harder for me as well if I would went somewhere else. I would have to really have to prove myself and what my work is and make people want to be a part of it. That's a big thing at HBCU. You have to really make a statement for yourself. I feel like it's easier to make a statement for yourself here at Lamar because it's so small.
Mm.
I wanted to go to TSU. TSU is a really big school. So
I actually got accepted into TSU, but I turned it down.
Why?
Just because I want to stay here. I'm from Beaumont, and I feel like I didn't want to just venture off too soon. I wanted it to kind of ease myself into it, cause like I do plan on leaving Beaumont. I don't plan on staying here, but I wanted to stay on campus and not at home and kind of work my way up to moving away.
Okay.
So by staying here, away from home, but if I ever need something, I'm just like my family's just a call away, you know.
That's convenient. Where do you plan on moving to once you finish college? Do you plan on staying in Texas?
I do. I'm not sure where. Maybe like San Antonio or something, but I don't know.
Why San Antonio?
I don't know. You know what? I just saw a really nice house on Instagram, and it was in San Antonio, and I was like, oh. But other than that, I don't have no real reason. So it's just kind of just looking to see right now. There's no solid option.
Okay, you have any other questions?
Um, I see you be at Relentless. I was wondering, like, how has that affected? How has God played a part in your life since you've been in college?
My relationship with God has gotten a lot stronger since I started college, actually. Before I came to college, I didn't really have a relationship with God.
Mm.
So
You didn't grow up in a religious household?
I did.
Okay.
I grew up in a household around church. I grew up around it, but I feel like what was demonstrated to me in my household didn't define what I was like. It just seemed very like a big facade. So I started not believing in God.
Mm.
At one point when I was high school, I actually said I don't know if I don't believe in God.
Mm.
I did. And when I came to college, I was by myself, and I found myself, I was just very depressed and in a very, very dark state. Like I didn't know where I was going, very, very lost.
Mm.
And um, through that, I had my own personal experience and encounter with God, and I never turned back. I would say that personal relationship is more important than what was demonstrated to you, and I feel like I never had a personal relationship with Him, and that's why I didn't understand.
Mm.
I was more so going off what everybody else was demonstrating to me rather than me and Him on a
Yeah,
one-on-one
figuring
basis.
out for yourself.
And that's a whole different ballgame when you experience Him for yourself.
Absolutely.
And you understand Him in that level of being an actual relationship. It changes the perspective.
Absolutely.
You stop looking at it as a religion, and you'll see it more as a relationship.
Talk about it.
So I think that was like my biggest thing, separating religion and relationship, when the relationship is the more important part. And even now, like with me growing, my relationship has gotten a lot stronger within this year. It's gotten a lot, well, not this year, this past year, going into this year, it's gotten a lot stronger.
Mm.
And it's a lot of things that, like, I'm learning that He wants me to sacrifice. Like one thing, for example, that was really hard for me to let go of, like smoking. Like I used to smoke all the time. Then that was like still maybe like what, maybe a month or two ago. And it's like I would take a break. I'm like, oh, God wants me to fast from smoking. But it came to a point where I'm like, no, He's not telling me to fast from smoking. He doesn't want me to smoke. He's like convicting me of smoking, telling me that's holding me back from where I'm supposed to be and where I'm going. What else? Going out and partying. I used to love going out and partying, but now it's just not. It's not something it's just something I'm not in the mood for. And it's like a personal conversation I have with God. Like, with the things that you don't want me to do, I don't make me not feel like doing them. So I know that I'm not supposed to be. Things like that, giving up a lot of things. I've given up relationships, friendships, a lot of things. But it's all been for a greater cause in the end. And sometimes, like, I'm not going to lie, there's like the other day, I was sitting in my room and I was like upset and I was crying because I'm like, dude, like, what's going on here? I'm doing all these things, I'm giving up things, I'm not understanding, like, where are we going with this? And it's like, I'm reading this book right now, it's called Unraveled, and it talks about the personal relationship with God. And she, it's letters that she shares from her experience with God, letters that God gave to her. And she was saying, He was saying in there, like right now, yesterday I had a question that God explained to him. I feel like basically how I feel trapped, how I feel like I'm like stuck in this box. What's crazy is today, when I was doing my Bible study this morning, I was reading Psalms. It was like Psalms 120 all the way to 131. All those talk about the part of what's it called, growing, like growing pains. Basically, that's why I took all those things. This is growing pains. It's all talking about how to be still and growing, how to trust God through it all, how you're gonna go through phase. All the ones that I was reading today was talking about growing pains. Then when I opened up the book, it's used in his letter that he was describing to her was a butterfly in a cocoon, saying that she's a caterpillar, and the caterpillar is already beautiful as is. But then when it goes into the cocoon, the caterpillar doesn't question how it's going to be fed, how it's going to turn into. But that's what state I'm in right now, is that cocoon phase where I'm supposed to just be still, and God is molding me into that butterfly that I'm supposed to be. I'm not there yet. That's why I feel trapped, because I'm in a cocoon. He has me in a phase of being still, and being still is hard for people, especially when you can't see, you're blinded. So more so today when I was reading, understanding that I'm in that phase. Because at first I was frustrated, but now understanding that I'm in that phase of transforming into that butterfly, it creates more patience.
And what's this book called?
It's called Unraveled. It's really good.
Unravel.
Yeah, she has it on Amazon. On Amazon, it's free for like the audiobook, but I just don't like audiobooks. I'm more of a hands-on person. I have to actually get the book. It was $20, but it's a really, really, really good book.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's good because it's a different perspective of having a relationship with God. Of course, you can be in your word and all those things, but it's different hearing it from a different perspective and seeing it in a different light. And I really like it because it just, like I said, teaches you the importance of having a personal relationship with Him, rather than just reading a whole bunch of scriptures and understanding and doing a whole bunch of tasks. Because He says it in His word, you can do all these tasks, you can cast out demons, but at the end of the day, I didn't know you personally.
That's true.
That's the most important thing, that personal relationship with Him.
And that's something I had to figure out too. It's like, I could go to church, I could participate, I could be an usher relentless, but if I don't know God for myself, then it's pointless.
Even at the Bible study, yesterday I had Bible study after I left Rome. I went to the Bible studies by Jakaya and Bryce. They had started this Bible study group, and I went with them. And even in Bible study, we're talking about that personal one-on-one relationship with God, knowing Him for Himself, you being vulnerable with Him, and being able to come to Him and talk to Him about any and everything, not putting on a facade of who you are, because He already knows who you are.
Exactly.
All He wants is for you to be honest with Him. He wants you to give Him that opportunity to, be with you in that moment of how you feel.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing, but it's also it's a process. It's not always beautiful. And that's the crazy part. That's one thing I feel like I was deceived of. I thought it was just going to be so easy the whole time. It's going to be flying colors. We're not going to have no problems. That's not true.
And that's kind of what Simone was talking about last night. It's a fight.
Yeah.
It's a fight. It's not easy.
What do you do whenever it's just you and God fighting? Even when she was talking about that, I was about to start crying. I was like, dang, that message was hitting home for me. Because I feel like now I'm in a personal one-on-one battle with Him.
I'm still trying to figure out myself and who I am when I'm rooted in God. Sometimes I get discouraged because I feel like I'm not doing enough. And sometimes I feel like when I am doing a lot, I'm still not seeing the fruit of it. I'm still not seeing what I want to see from it. And I have to take a step back and I have to realize, okay, it's not about what I want to see from it. It's about what God wants to see. And so that's just something that I'm still learning, and I can't really give no advice for anybody when it comes to having a relationship with God, because everybody's walk looks totally different.
I feel like it's something you have to experience on your own.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
Can't tell anybody how to have a relationship with God. As much as you want to try to, you can't. It's something you have to experience on your own. You have to go through that cycle on your own, and I feel like that's even what He tells you is you are not in control of anyone else. You're in control of nothing. I'm in control of you. Your job is to follow me, and even then, stay a course with me on your course, not anybody else's course. So you can't leave your course to go, because how are you going to go fix them? How are you going to be broken in yourself and then try to go fix somebody else?
Exactly.
It's never going to work. Now it's just the blind leading the blind, and that's just not good. But it was crazy you said that, because feeling as if you aren't getting what you want, because I was thinking the same thing. It was crazy. This video came up I was watching, and she was saying, what do you do when you're trying to be obedient to God? And she was saying, basically, when you feel like you are deserving of so many more things and you're not getting them, but it's because you're not being obedient to God. He wants you to gain obedience first and understand what it's like to be obedient to Him and follow Him in every single thing He tells you to do, even if it's, something so small. He wants you to do that. If you're not doing it, you're not being obedient to Him. So therefore, she said, and it's something that stood out to me, that that God told her, we cannot go forward if you cannot be obedient to me. So until you can be obedient to me, I can't take you anywhere else. You may see where you're going. You may see what's in front of you, but we can't go there until you learn how to be obedient to me, because if you can't get to that without being obedient. So if you're there, I can't just let you go there because if you're there, you're going to fail because now you're not being obedient. That's the key point. And she was like, Jesus, the difference between Jesus and everybody else is Jesus was obedient to God in everything that he did. That's what made him perfect. We're not perfect. We're human. We're never going to be like Jesus. But in Christ, we're supposed to be most like Jesus, if that makes sense.
And that's actually crazy that you saying that now because, like, we finna start preaching it here in a minute. But I was just like, I saw this post and it was like obedience is better than sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So you could give up anything. You could do a 20-day fast, but if God didn't tell you to do that fast,
You did it for nothing.
exactly. And it's like, but God, I just fasted. I just gave
He doesn't
up this.
care. He does not care.
It's like I didn't tell you to do that.
That's why it's important as well to have that personal relationship because if your personal relationship is still strong, you would know he never told you to do that. Now you just sat here and done did a fast, been going through all this stuff for no reason. Just walk around here hungry and mad. And you're not getting anything out of it because that's not what your assignment was.
Exactly. I know you mentioned earlier that like at one point you questioned your faith and you was like, I don't believe in God, and I don't want to like, you don't have to share like that whole experience because it can get deep. But I was wondering, how did you rebuild that relationship after you said, okay, I don't believe in God? How did you come to terms with, I do believe in God?
I'm trying to think. There was no specific moment. I think it was like baby steps. Baby steps of him revealing himself to me and showing me you can't do this without me. He would let me stumble so far to the only thing the only thing that I could do was call on God. Stumbling so hard to where you're at the bottom and it's like, okay, well there is a God because obviously I wouldn't be here if I sat here and I was walking with him. That's really it. He let me stumble and get to like a very, very low point with myself to where it's like you have no choice but to call on me and confess my name and say that I'm real. And the moment I did, everything changed. It's crazy. The moment I sat there and said, okay, let me actually wonder a little bit. Let me see what this is about. Everything just went changed. Things started changing. The way I acted, the people around me, everything started changing. And from there, it's just like I chose not to go back. Why would I go back from somewhere he picked me up from and saved me?
Right.
It's like I said, it's nobody can tell you anything else, It's an experience that you have to go through on your own.
Absolutely. I feel that.
You have any more questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, well, we're going to end it here. I'm going to show y'all my painting. It's not finished. Oh, but look, guys. Is the light going to flash through it? This is my little sunlight. Not sunlight. This is my sunset. See?
All right, I'll show mine.
Oh, I like the water. It's okay.
Oh.
It's okay. Yeah. I like it.
It's something.
This is mine. Looks like a starburst.
Okay, I like it.
Thank you. Okay, you want to go ahead and end it here? All right, that's it. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.